What is up, Vikings and future Vikings? I hope you had a fantastic day. With this video, we will be starting a new series that is dedicated for new players or players that just started the game and are looking for some advice on how to get started, how to understand the game, because Vikings War of Clans is a strategy game and can sometimes be quite overwhelming with its features, with the things you can do. And I'm here to help you to get started with the game, and we will make it a series because there are a lot of topics to talk about. And in today's video, we will be talking about the Kingdoms map. Obviously, there are several type of maps in the game. We will come to this in a second. And we will be talking about two specific maps. First, the Kingdoms map, and then second, the global map. But let's get started with the Kingdoms map. I will show you how to access this. So if you start in your city, that's what you usually do when you start up the game. You go to the global map down here, and then on the top left side you have three icons: the minimap, the stronghold, and an event if there is an event. And we will be going to the minimap, but we will talk about the minimaps later, so be patient. And then there is this Kingdoms map. This is how you access the Kingdoms map. So let's click on it and see what happens. So the Kingdoms map displays all the game's servers or kingdoms, because each kingdom is a server, as well as certain information about them. So first there is the name and the number of the kingdom, as you can see. I'm in Kingdom 626, Limnafjord. So looking at the map, you can already see the different kingdoms or servers with some information about it. The one you're in is green. If you click on one of these, you get more information about the kingdom. So let's click on our kingdom. On top, you can see the name, Limnafjord. It is Kingdom 626. You can see the ruling clan of this kingdom, that is the strongest clan in this kingdom, and its banner, which is on the right side here. This is our banner. You can also see the number of players. Players are towns in this kingdom. So we have about 2,500 players in this kingdom. And then you see the kingdom influence with its rank on the left. So that's the global rank in comparison to all other kingdoms that are in the game. So we're ranked 799 in terms of influence, and this is our influence. So our kingdom has an influence of 46 trillion. Huge numbers. You will get used to it, believe me. And then you can see the victories for different events. There are events, kingdom battles. There's the Kingdom Battle Fury, where you see our track record of 29 wins. You can see the kingdom battles, where we won 21-2, and the Kingdom Battle Revenge that is currently happening, where we won 20-2. So it gives you an idea on how the kingdom is performing in kingdom battles. And down here you see your town is located in this kingdom. If I click on another kingdom, for example, down here you get an information whether you can move to this kingdom by using Drakkar. Quick info about Drakkar. Drakkar is an item that you can use to move from kingdom to kingdom. Depending on your influence, you need more or less of them. In order to see how many Drakkar you have, there are two best possibilities. You can either go down to items down here, then you go on my items, not in the shop, you cannot buy them. Then you go to bonus, and here you see how many Drakkars you have. I have 870. If I wanted to move to another kingdom, clicking on the kingdom, click on go to, and if I click on a tile here, it tells me how many Drakkars I need. I would need 86. There are different conditions that you need to fulfill in order to be able to move, and that is how you switch from kingdom to kingdom. But let's go back to the map, because that is a different topic. You probably realized that each kingdom is looking differently, and by differently I mean the icon of, and that is actually the place of power that is displayed. And each kingdom on the kingdom's map looks exactly the same as its place of power. So let's have a look. If I click on this kingdom and click go to, we will jump to the place of power, and you can see that this is the exact same image. So as you can see, kingdoms have numbers and new kingdoms appear when the previous one is full. Full doesn't necessarily mean that there's no space in the kingdoms, but new players will appear in fresher kingdoms with also new players, so that you don't start with players that are already maxed. Everybody in the beginning, when you create a new account, gets the same chances and starts with players that also just started. You can easily find a kingdom by its number in the special search window, and let's have a look. For example, it is this one right here, the target icon. You can click on it, it says kingdom search, and then you get to this window where it asks you a number from 1 to 918, and 918 is the newest kingdom in the game. So let's go to this kingdom. It is this one here. You can see it is not full. If you compare, all other kingdoms have around 40,000 towns. So this one just has 17,000. So if you created a new town right now, you would spawn in 918. You can also see that it is pretty new based on the low influence, first of all, and also because they did not fight any kingdom battle yet. Also, new kingdoms are locked actually, so it is not possible for other players to join this kingdom. In this case, for example, that's the newest one, 918. It still takes 11 weeks before I, a more experienced player, would be able to join this kingdom. That is to protect new players and make it easy for them to grow and not getting dominated by players that already play the game for a longer time period. Let's have a look at another one, for example, 916. This is 8 weeks, so in 8 weeks it opens and other players can join. And if you take 913, for example, it opens in 2 weeks. And you're probably wondering, what is this glowing arrow here? That is because we are currently in a kingdom battle event, and it shows us the enemy kingdom. So we are fighting against 268. That is our enemy kingdom that we fight against. That is basically all you need to know about the kingdoms map. There's not much more to say, to be honest. But as said, there are more maps in the game. So let's get to the global map again by clicking on the top left. So if you see this, this is the global map. The global map is the map of the player's kingdom, and it is measured in tiles. The area of a kingdom is 512 times 1024 tiles. And in the game, each tile is equal to 1 kilometer times 1 kilometer. And when looking at the different tiles, we can cluster it basically in 2 types of tiles. Inactive ones and active ones. Obviously, the active ones are more interesting, so let's talk about the inactive ones first. Inactive tiles are tiles that, when selected, you don't cause the interaction window to open. An example of this is so-called big water. That's the term given to tiles that have large bodies of water. And let's see if we can find an example here. Where do we have this here is big water, and by clicking on it, nothing is happening, so it is not causing the interaction window to open. Another example are the tiles around the place of power. So let's get to the place of power by going on the global map, zooming out, clicking on the thingy in the middle. That is the place of power. And these grass tiles around the place of power are also inactive tiles. You cannot jump there. There's no interaction possible with them. You can click on the place of power. You can click on the tiles next to it. So on the forest tiles, there you got the interaction window to open, but all these tiles around the place of power are inactive tiles. The reason of these tiles being inactive is that defenders have a small head start when defending, so it takes the attackers a bit more marching time to get to the place of power to attack it. It is a small one, but sometimes it can make a difference. So let's talk about the active tiles now. There are a lot of them. We will go through different types because active tiles can contain locations or special tiles. The basic type of an active tile is wasteland. This is a simple tile on which something can be placed. And a wasteland without a location may be decorated with trees, a small lake, or a circle of stones, for example. These features are purely decorative and have no effect on the game. Let me show you. You can see these small stones here, for example. I can click on them and have the possibility to jump there. So that's the only interaction that I can have with this tile. These forests here are exactly the same. And there are even super small lakes like this one here. That is not big water, that's small water. And that is a tile that I can jump on, so an active tile. So I said there can be locations on wasteland tiles, and let's talk about these different locations. The first one being towns. Let's start talking about my town. On top of the town you see a number or a marker. In my case it says 40, and the numeric marker above the town displays its level. It is the same level as the main building in your town, which is your palace. So let's double check this real quick by going into my town. Clicking on my palace, that is the big building here. You can already see it is level 40. And this is what determines my town's level. It's the palace. This is my town. You can see this one here is my clan tag, SC626. We have the clan icon and my town's name. You have the possibility to display an achievement here. If you want to do this, you go to your town, click on your image, go to the achievements, and then you can select one. So I decided to take Gladiator, but you can also use, I don't know, White Wolf and use it as honorific. And if you do so, it will then be displayed. Let's do it. Let's use White Wolf, and then it will be displayed down here. This is how you change it. I want my Gladiator back. Now let's talk about other towns. And for this, let's find a town. Let's talk about this town here. The name is Snow White. It is a town from my kingdom. And you can see that it has a town level of 34. And if you click on this town, you can either decide to attack, to send an onslaught, or to scout. This town here is under a peace treaty, so if I click on attack, it will tell me attack is impossible. The town is under a peace treaty, so if you use a peace treaty, you are protected from enemy attacks. And if you want to know when this shield drops, you can actually use the guard payoff. If you click it, you will use the item guard payoff that you can purchase, and then you will get a report. And this report here says that his shield will drop tomorrow, by the way. But he's a friend, so I will not attack him. But this is how you can figure out when a shield drops. And if you want to buy this item, you can go down to the store here. It is under military. Here it is, guard payoff, costs 1,000 gold. And it can sometimes be worth investing these 1,000 gold in order to get a hit on a town that you want to attack. This is an enemy town. You can see it is red. And in comparison to this, this one is green because it is a town from my clan. If I click on him, I have the possibility to reinforce him. Reinforcing means I will send troops to his town, and when he gets attacked, my troops will fight with his troops and make the defense stronger. But we will talk about attack and defense mechanics in another video. And you can also see the clear difference between shielded towns. This one has this blue circle of protection around him. This one has not. This is how you identify whether a town has a shield or not. During competitions like the clans battle or some kingdom battles, towns that are not in their home are marked with different colors. There is green for my clanmates. Let's see if when I jump to the enemy kingdom, we can find a town of an ally. Let's see this one here. You can clearly see that it is glowing green, which means that is an ally kingdom. He's not from the same clan. As you can see, it is DI626. It is not SC626. So he's from a different clan, but from the same kingdom. And as it is kingdom versus kingdom, he is an ally. If I click on him, I would be possible to attack him. But this green circle here indicates me he's an ally, so think twice before attacking him, because he's trying to help the kingdom winning this event. There are more colors. They can be red during CVC, for example. Red means this is your CVC, and CVC is clan versus clan. That's the clans battle. He's your CVC enemy. They can be blue. Blue is also during CVC. That's when towns from other kingdoms that are not your CVC enemy are in your kingdom. And there is a last color, yellow. And a town of a player is yellow when he recently relocated using Drakars.